A hidden network of ancient highways lies beneath our modern world, and the first road we'll reveal is a stone corridor few even scholars recall. Stay tuned until the final segment, because number 1 will challenge everything you thought you knew about early transportation. Unearthed beneath layers of alluvial silt, the Sumerian trade path dates back to roughly 3400 BCE, making it one of the oldest known roadways. Archaeologists first identified its remnants in the marshlands of southern Mesopotamia, where a faint alignment of packed clay and stone markers suggested a purposeful route linking the city-states of Ur and Lagash. Though written records speak of river barges, this overland corridor offered an alternative during seasonal floods, allowing traders to move amber, copper, and textiles across the fertile plain. The pathway was constructed with compacted reeds bound by bitumen, a technique that provided surprising durability against the region's shifting tides. Modern remote sensing surveys reveal that the road stretches for over 120 kilometers, yet its existence faded from collective memory as the empire collapsed and the marshes reclaimed the land. Today, only subtle depressions and occasional ceramic shards hint at its former grandeur, reminding us how early societies engineered solutions that rival modern logistics.
Silently, the Indus Valley River Road slipped beneath the shifting sands of what is now the Thar Desert, connecting Mohenjo-Daro to distant settlements around 2500 BCE. Unlike the famed riverine trade routes, this overland artery comprised tightly packed river-washed stones, edged with low mud brick walls that guided caravans across an otherwise featureless plain. Excavations have uncovered a series of evenly spaced stone cairns, likely serving as waymarkers for merchants transporting lapis lazuli, carnelian, and wheat. The road's engineering demonstrates an understanding of drainage, as shallow channels were carved to divert occasional monsoon runoff, preventing erosion. When the civilization waned, desertification buried the path, and its memory survived only in fragmented seals. Recent satellite imagery, combined with ground-penetrating radar, has revived the corridor, allowing scholars to map a network that once rivaled the Silk Road in its regional importance.
Around 1700 BCE, the Minoan civilization on Crete fashioned a coastal trail that clung to steep limestone cliffs, enabling swift movement of sailors and merchants between hidden harbors. Built from interlocking basalt slabs, the path featured drainage channels carved directly into the rock to handle sudden rainstorms that threatened the narrow ledges.
Few people know that the Roman Via Flaminia Nova, abandoned in the 5th century, lay hidden beneath the Apennine forests of central Italy. Constructed from layered gravel and topped with polygonal stone slabs, the road linked the city of Rimini to the interior town of Fano, cutting through rugged terrain that earlier routes avoided. Milestones bearing the names of Emperors Augustus and Hadrian were discovered during a 19th century logging operation, confirming its official status within the empire's extensive network. After the fall of Rome, the road fell into disrepair, and over centuries, thick understory reclaimed the stones, turning the thoroughfare into a barely distinguishable forest track. Recent LiDAR scans have traced its winding course, revealing a series of engineered terraces that reduce steep gradients, showcasing Roman mastery of mountain engineering. The rediscovery offers insight into how imperial logistics adapted to challenging landscapes, and why the route was eventually forgotten as new trade patterns emerged.
Hidden in the misty highlands of the Andes, the Inca Trail of the Sun vanished after the Spanish conquest, only to be partially revealed by modern trekkers in the early 2000s. This 120-kilometer route ascended from the Sacred Valley to the summit of a remote mountain shrine, marked by finely cut stone steps that fit together without mortar. Along the way, agricultural terraces, water channels, and way stations known as qualkers provided sustenance for messengers and llama caravans transporting coca, quinoa, and precious metals. The trail's alignment with astronomical events, such as solstices, suggests it also served ceremonial purposes. Following the 1530s, the Spanish dismantled many stone structures for building materials, and the route fell into disuse. Today, only faint stone foundations remain beneath moss-covered rocks, but drone surveys have mapped the corridor, confirming the Incas' sophisticated integration of engineering, spirituality, and geography.
Deep beneath the jungles of Central America, a pre-Columbian causeway known as the Sacbe of the Maya resurfaced in recent LiDAR scans, revealing a 30-kilometer raised road that linked two major city-states during the Classic period. Constructed from compacted limestone and covered with a layer of volcanic ash, the Sacbe provided a dry, elevated passage through swampy terrain, allowing elite processions and trade caravans to move obsidian, jade, and cacao without hindrance. Archaeologists have identified a series of stone altars along the route, indicating ritual stops where travelers offered incense to deities of travel and rain. When the Maya civilization declined around 900 CE, the Sacbe was abandoned, and dense growth quickly reclaimed it, erasing its silhouette from the landscape. Modern remote sensing has not only confirmed its existence but also highlighted the Mayas' advanced understanding of civil engineering in hostile environments.
Remarkably, a medieval Scandinavian road network, once vital for Viking trade across the Baltic, was forgotten after the Black Death reshaped settlement patterns in the 14th century. Known to locals as the Hvitridvigen, the route comprised packed gravel, timber planks over marshes, and a series of simple wooden bridges spanning icy streams. It connected the port of Birka with inland markets, facilitating the exchange of amber, iron, and furs. Charred wooden posts discovered near present-day Uppsala suggest the road also served as a military supply line during regional conflicts. As plague decimated populations, trade dwindled, and the road fell into neglect, its stones repurposed for farm structures. Recent archaeological digs have uncovered a series of waymarkers bearing runic inscriptions, providing rare evidence of the road's nomenclature and confirming its role in shaping early northern European commerce.
Later, during the early modern era, a network of Roman-styled cobblestones in the Balkans, once a key Ottoman trade artery, fell into obscurity as railways emerged in the 19th century. Stretching from Sarajevo to Thessaloniki, the corridor featured tightly fitted basalt stones that withstood heavy wagon traffic carrying silk, spices, and coffee beans. Ottoman tax registers mention a series of caravanserais spaced roughly every 20 kilometers, offering rest for traders and their beasts of burden. When the Austro-Hungarian railway reached the region, merchants rapidly shifted to faster rail transport, and the cobbled road was gradually abandoned, its stones scavenged for local construction. Today, only isolated segments survive in the historic centers of towns like Mostar, where preservationists have restored short stretches to showcase the engineering prowess that once linked east and west across rugged terrain.
By the 20th century, the once bustling Route 66 detour through the New Mexico desert was deliberately erased, leaving only faint earthworks hidden beneath shifting dunes. Constructed in the 1930s as a shortcut for motorists traveling between Albuquerque and Flagstaff, the gravel-surfaced stretch featured a series of small concrete markers and a lone water tower that served nearby ranches. During World War II, the road was deemed a security risk and was officially decommissioned, with the government ordering the removal of signage and the filling of the roadway with native sand to prevent enemy navigation. Over the following decades, natural erosion obscured the path, and its memory survived only in veteran diaries. Recent aerial photography has identified the faint outline of the former detour, offering a glimpse into the transient nature of America's iconic highways.
Finally, the most recent discovery, a Cold War-era secret highway built for missile transport across Siberia, was revealed through declassified satellite imagery in 2026. Stretching over 800 kilometers of permafrost, the road was engineered with a layered base of crushed basalt and a top coat of polymer-infused asphalt designed to remain pliable in extreme sub-zero temperatures. Its purpose was to provide a reliable overland route for moving intercontinental ballistic missiles and associated support equipment between hidden launch sites and rail depots, bypassing vulnerable rail lines. The construction involved massive earthworks, including insulated bridges over frozen rivers, and employed thousands of conscripted laborers under strict secrecy. After the Soviet Union's dissolution, the highway was abandoned, its surface cracking under climate-induced thaw. Modern analysts study the route to understand how geopolitical tensions shaped infrastructure in remote regions, and the satellite images now serve as a stark reminder of an era when roads were built for strategic, not civilian, purposes.
We have traced a remarkable arc from the mud-packed lanes of early Sumer to a covert Cold War supply road that only satellites could reveal, showing how each forgotten pathway once pulsed with life before slipping into oblivion. If you enjoyed this journey through time, subscribe so you don't miss the next mind-blowing list we release each week. Which of these ancient routes would you most like to walk in person? Share your answer below, and if the story sparked your curiosity, give it a like. Thanks for watching.